Welcome back. I am almost done reading The Game of Life and How to Play It. It's just 2 more days, today and tomorrow. This is so wonderful. And then I'll move on to the next book. But for today, I'm going to be reading the chapter for Perfect Self-Expression or Divine Design. I'm Tracy Lene, and I would love it if you would like this video, if you would share this video, and if you would subscribe to my channel. You would make my day. So let's begin. Perfect Self-Expression or the Divine Design. This is The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Shovel Shinn. No wind can drive my bark astray, nor change the tide of destiny. Unknown. There is for each man perfect self-expression. There is a place which he is to fill and no one else can fill. Something which he is to do which no one else can do. It is his destiny. That's why it's important that you don't think people are you and say, well, you should have da-da-da, and I know you did da-da-da because I would have did da-da-da. No, they're not you. Everybody has perfect self-expression, and we really don't get to decide what a person means when they do what they do. We have to ask them. But that's a part of the 4 agreements, the one that says make no assumptions. If you don't know what the 4 agreements is, don't worry, because that's the next book I'm going to read. Anywho, let's keep going. The achievement is held, a perfect idea and divine mind, awaiting man's recognition. As the imagining faculty is the creative faculty, it is necessary for man to see the idea before it can manifest. So man's highest demand is for the divine design of his life. He may not have the faintest conception of what it is, for there is possibly some marvelous talent hidden deep within him. His demand should be, Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan. I'm going to read that slow because you might want to write it down. Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released. Let me see clearly the perfect plan. You can always rewind it. Write that one down. The perfect plan includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. That's so perfect. You know what heaven is? When you have good health, good wealth, good love, and the perfect self-expression. That's what heaven really is. I'm not talking about the heaven that lots of people believe you go to when you leave this realm. I'm talking about having heaven while you're in this realm. Having good health, that's heaven. Being able to not have to worry about taking pills for this or that, or having diseases that you don't think you can get rid of, but you really can. You can heal your life. Okay. This is the square of life which brings the perfect happiness. I have to read that together. The perfect plan includes health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. This is the square of life, which brings perfect happiness. When one has made his demand, he may find great changes taking place in his life, for nearly every man has wandered far from the divine design. I know in one woman's case, it was as though a cyclone had struck her affairs, but readjustments came quickly, and the new and wonderful conditions took the place of old ones. Perfect self-expression will never be labor, but of such absorbing interest that it will seem almost like play. Anything that you really love to do is like playing. It's like you get paid for it, yes, but you love to do it. Like I love to create. Y'all like these earrings? So I created these earrings 2 years ago. And they didn't sell, so I took them off the table, and I wear them all the time because I love them. But I love creating. So even if nobody bought the things that I make, I'll just be wearing them up a storm. I wear the t-shirts, I wear the clothes. I would just do it all because I love what I do. I love teaching. So if you know me, then you know that I am working on my degree to become a teacher, and I love working with middle school students. It doesn't feel like work. A lot of the times it can get exhausting depending on how the children are acting on any given day. But the love I have in my heart for just helping children, it's just Makes it feel great. I like to get paid for it, and I think teachers should get paid more. I think teachers should get paid more than basketball players. You dribbling the ball up and down the court. Come on, let's make it real. Let's keep it real. Yeah, your body is all nice and conditioned, and you can put a ball in a hoop, but you're not teaching little babies that are going to go out and run the world. Teachers should get paid more. Anywho, where was I at? Perfect self-expression will never be labor, but of such absorbing interest that it will seem almost like play. The student knows also, as man comes into the world financed by God, the supply needed for his perfect self-expression will be at hand. God is the supplier and the supply. Many a genius, you can get high on your own supply. What is God? Anywho, high, you get it? In Scarface, and he said the first rule, don't get high on your own supply. Well, when God is your supply, you should get high on your own supply. Hey, ooh, maybe I should put that on the shirt. God is my supplier, so I get high on my own supply. I don't know. What you think? You can order one, and then I'll make it. Many a genius has struggled for years with the problem of supply, when his spoken word and faith would have released quickly the necessary funds. For example, after the class one day, a man came to me and handed me a cent. He said, I have just 7 cents in the world, and I'm going to give you 1. For I have faith in the power of your spoken word. I want you to speak the word for my perfect self-expression and prosperity. Now, this was in 1930, so that cent probably was $5. Like today, that's like me having $35 and saying, I'm going to give you $5 and I'm only going to have $30. That's, he didn't give her a penny today, because they looked at him like, what the hell you think I'm supposed to do with this penny? You can't even buy penny candy with a penny. I spoke the word and did not see him again until a year later. He came in one day, successful and happy, with a roll of yellow bills in his pocket. He said, immediately after you spoke the word, I had a position offered to me in a distant city. I am now demonstrating health, happiness, and supply. That can be your morning affirmation. Hey, look in the mirror and say, hey there, you. I am now demonstrating health, wealth, and supply. You can do that. You can say something. Find something every morning. Get up, look at yourself and say, oh my God, it's you. It's always been you. It'll always be you. You are the love of my life. I'm telling you, that shit works wonders to get your day started. I do it every morning, girl and boy, whoever listening. Which can only be a girl or boy, I think. Anywho. Okay. A woman's perfect self-expression may be in becoming a perfect wife, a perfect mother, a perfect homemaker, not necessarily in having a public career. Stop shaming people because they just want to love on their husbands and take care of their husbands. That's what they want to do. They can do it. Stop telling them, girl, you gonna do all of that. He gonna turn around and leave you. Stop, bitter Betty. You don't know what that man gonna do. Demand definite leads, and the way will be made easy and successful. One should not visualize or force a mental picture. When he demands the divine design to come into his conscious mind, he will receive flashes of inspiration and begin to see himself making some great accomplishment. This is the picture or idea he must hold without wavering. The thing man seeks is seeking him. The telephone was seeking Bell. That's right. If you think of something, it's because it's already thought of you. And it's like, psst, 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 hey, you. And then you go, huh? Oh my God, I have this great idea. The idea was already there waiting for you to discover it. Alice Walker said the color purple came through her. She said, oh, you wrote this great book. She said, no, that book wrote me. The book said, hey, and she just started writing. The characters came to her and said, I want to be seen. And this is what I want. And then she wrote it. That's why it's so magnificent, because the book came through her. Parents should never force careers and professions upon their children. With a knowledge of spiritual truth, a divine plan can be spoken for early childhood or prenatally. This is what I do believe. You have to give children something that gives them discipline, and then they'll pick a route. But without discipline, they won't pick anything. So just saying, what do you want to be when you grow up? I don't care. I want to be a unicorn. And you go, okay. And then you don't guide them to any career. And then they grow up and realize that unless they're going to nail something to their head, they're not a unicorn. So when you say, like my sister, for an example, my sister is an attorney. She's a top attorney. She don't even live in the United States. She went to Harvard Law, y'all, and passed the top of the bar, top of the bar, because she's that girl. My mother, when my sister was younger, she saw in her that she had the same genius potential that my mother had. And so she put her in private school. And then she had to take ballet from the time she was 3 until the time she was 17 faithfully. My mother would not let her quit. But it gave her the discipline she needed to then go off to American University and then to Harvard Law with stuff paid for. And then this chica turns around, y'all, and pays back all of the debt she does owe in 3 years. 3 years she does it. She stayed with my husband and I for a little bit in Brooklyn while she was waiting for her apartment to come through. But I've never seen anybody other than my sister that the discipline my mother gave her when she was younger, it paid off. Now, you say, well, what'd your mama do for you? I was a free spirit, and my mother encouraged that free spiritness. So I may want to do this today, this tomorrow. And lots of times people will be like, well, you know, you're a jack of all trades, master of none. No, don't let anybody tell you you can only master one thing. You can master as many things as you want to master, and you can pick them up and put them down anytime you please. And I'm grateful my parents did that, because they gave me the discipline to know I could change things. I still had chores to do. I still had to be respectful to my elders and stuff, but my path for my sisters was different. But we're both pretty decent people, because my mother gave us she looked at us and then gave us what we needed for who we were. And that was perfect. So if you see your child and you're like, my sister was reading at 3. She was reading me books. I could read because I'm 5 years older than her. So I was 8, so I could read. But my sister would pick up the Cinderella book, and what she would do is she would look at the picture and make a story up from the picture. But it would be damn near close to what was going on in Cinderella. But we changed the ending, though. Anyhow, a prenatal treatment should be, let the God in this child have perfect expression. Let the divine design of his mind, body, and affairs be made manifest throughout his life, throughout eternity. With each of my children, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I thanked God, and I put my hand on my stomach and I said, God, I give this child back to you to be used as a servant to do what you put them in me to do. Just help me to see it early enough so I can help cultivate it. And I got some fabulous children, y'all. I got 4 children, and I love my babies, and no, they're not perfect, but they're brave. Because they mama brave and they daddy crazy. He is crazy, but he brave. Okay. So that's what we would say. Let me say that treatment again. A prenatal treatment should be, let the God in this child have perfect expression. Let the divine design of his mind, body, and affairs be made manifest throughout his life, throughout eternity. God's will be done, not man's. God's pattern, not man's pattern, is the command we find running through all of the scriptures. And the Bible is a book dealing with the science of the mind. It is a book telling man how to release his soul or subconscious mind from bondage. I also believe that if you really want to do something, that's what God wants you to do, if it is of good and can help humankind. God did not tell you to go rob a bank because you want to be Robin Hood. No, God don't need you to steal. Ask God. Say, God, I want to be a philanthropist. So I'm going to need a little dough to do that, And God will give you the way. I know, because God is giving me the way, because I'm a philanthropist. I'm claiming it now. My wallet is catching up with that. I'm going to give, and I'm going to receive too. The battle described are pictures of man's raging against war against let's back it up. The battle described are pictures of man waging war against mortal thoughts. Every man's foes shall be of his own household. Every man's Jehoshaphat, and every man is David, who slays Goliath, the mortal thinking, with the little white stone faith. Now we all know, or some of us know if you know the Bible, that David saw a man, saw his wife, and said, she fine. I want her for myself. And then David decided, I'm going to send him out to battle, get him killed, and I'm going to have her. And he lay with her. Now, people will say, oh my God, David, that was trifling. But then it says that David was a man after God's own heart. We don't know what her husband was like. We don't know why this happened. I never tell somebody why God is doing anything, because I don't know why God is doing nothing in nobody's life. I'm still trying to figure out some of the stuff God doing in my life. But that scripture lets me know that there is forgiveness. No matter what you've done, you can be forgiven. And you can also be lifted up. You don't have to always be in the trenches. So man must be careful that he is not the wicked and slothful servant who buried his talent. There's a terrible penalty. There's a terrible penalty to be paid for not using one's ability. Often fear stands between man and his perfect self-expression. Stage fright has hampered many a genius. This may be overcome by the spoken word or treatment. The individual then loses all self-consciousness and feels simply that he is a channel for infinite intelligence to express itself through. He is under direct inspiration, fearless and confident, for he feels that it is the Father within who does the work. A young boy came often to my class with his mother. He asked me to speak the word for his coming examinations at school. I told him to make the statement, I am one with infinite intelligence. I know everything I should know on this subject. He had an excellent knowledge of history, but was not sure of his arithmetic. We call it math. Arithmetic. I saw him afterwards, and he said, I spoke the word for my arithmetic and passed with the highest honors, but thought I could depend on myself for the history and got a very poor mark. Man often receives a setback when he is too sure of himself, you little haughty self, which means he is trusting to his personality and not the Father within. So we have a personality self and we have a God self. The personality self is what's going to be gone when you leave. Your God self goes back to the essence. I believe the personality self goes back to this place where you get all your report card for all the things you did, and you maybe have to go back and repeat this and then get a better personality. That's what I believe. You may not believe it. It's all good. Another one of my students gave me an example of this. She took an extended trip abroad one summer, visiting many countries where she was ignorant of the languages. She was calling for guidance and protection every minute, and her affairs went smoothly and miraculously. Her luggage was never delayed or lost. Accommodations were always ready for her at the best hotels, and she had perfect service wherever she went. She returned to New York, knowing the language. She felt God was no longer necessary. So she looked after her affairs in the ordinary manner. Everything went wrong. Her trunk was delayed and in harmony and confusion. The student must form the habit of practicing the presence of God every minute. Oh, that feels so good. I just sometimes stop and go, thank you, God. You're with me and I'm so grateful. Because when you forget God for even a second, you a fool. Because you and of yourself, your personality is made up of all of the situations in your life. And most times the situations in your life have left you feeling blank and depleted. So you don't want to rely on your personality. You want to rely on the God within you and use your personality to maybe get you through some doors with the God within you. Sometimes, go back. Everything went wrong. The student must form the habit of practicing the presence of God every minute. In all thy ways, acknowledge. This says acknowledge him. I say acknowledge her. The divine mother. You can have a divine mother and a divine father. Nothing is too small or too great. Sometimes an insignificant incident may be the turning point in man's life. Robert Fulton, watching some boiling water simmer in a tea kettle, saw a steamboat. That was God. That was God saying, I'm waiting for this man to make a steamboat. I have seen a student often keep back his demonstration through resistance or pointing the way. He pins his faith to one channel only and dictates just the way he desires the manifestation to come, which brings things to a standstill. My way, not your way, is the command of infinite intelligence. I remember seeing on Nipsey Hussle's sister's page, as after he died, I was really looking into him because I didn't know him before that, but I got caught up in all of that. And she said, everything I got, I want. And if I don't got it, I don't want it. And I love that. And I started using that. If I don't got it, I don't want it. And I said it just like that. I don't got it. I don't want it. My way, not your way, is the command of infinite intelligence. Like all power, be it steam or electricity, it must have a non-resistant engine or an instrument to work through. And man is that engine or instrument. Over and over again, man is told to stand still. O Judah, fear not. But tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you. Sometimes you just got to rest. You shall not need to fight this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you. Sometime you just got to be still. When you keep doing stuff and you're not getting the results you want, it's time to be still. It's time to be still and know that he is God, or she is God, or it is God, or whatever you call God. It's time to know that. It's time to say, not my will, but your will. Not my way, but your way. And you watch the changes. I'm telling you, it works. Where was that at? We see in this incident, this is a typo. We see this, oh no, it's not. We see this in the incidents of the $2,000 coming to the woman through the landlord when she became non-resistant and undisturbed. Ooh, non-resistant and undisturbed. How about that on a t-shirt? And you're just like, non-resistant and undisturbed. Tell me if you want that on a t-shirt. I'm going to put one on for me. And then maybe I'll wear it and see if you like it. How about that? And the woman who won the man's love after all the suffering has ceased. The student's goal is poise, because poise is power. For it gives God power to chance. It gives God's power of chance to rush through man to will and do its good pleasure. Poised, he thinks clearly and he makes the right decisions quickly. He never misses a trick. Anger blurs the vision, poisons the bud, and poisons the blood. And that is the root of many diseases and causes wrong decisions leading to failure. It has been named one of the worst sins, and its reaction is so harmful. The student learns that in metaphysics, sin has a much broader meaning than in the old teachings. Whatsoever is not faith is sin. He finds that fear and worry are deadly sins. They are inverted faith, and through distorted mental pictures brings to pass the things he fears. His work is to drive out these enemies from the subconscious mind. When man is fearless, he is finished. Masterlink says that man is God afraid. Let's keep reading because it's not making sense. I think I get it. Man is God afraid. So as we read in the previous chapters, man can only vanquish fear by walking up to the thing he's afraid of. When Jehoshaphat and his army prepared to meet the enemy, singing, "Praise the Lord, for his mercy endureth forever," they found their enemies had destroyed each other. There was nothing to fight. For example, a woman asked a friend to deliver a message to another friend. The woman feared to give the message, as the reasoning mind said, "Don't get mixed up in this affair. Don't give that message." She was troubled in spirit, for she had given a promise. At last she determined to walk up to the lion and to call on the law of divine protection. She met the friend to whom she was to deliver the message. She opened her mouth to speak it when her friend said, "So-and-so has left town." This made it unnecessary to give the message, as the situation depended upon the person being in town. As she was willing to do it, she was not obliged to. As she did not fear, the situation vanished. The student often delays his demonstration through a belief in incompletion. He should make this statement. In divine mind, there is only completion. Therefore, my demonstration is completed. My perfect work, my perfect home, my perfect health, whatever he demands are perfect ideas registered in the divine mind and must manifest under grace and in a perfect way. Always add that last part, because I talked about this before. You could say, "I want $1 million," and then one of your parents could die and leave you $1 million. That's not what you wanted. You wanted the $1 million. So you want it in a perfect way, not in a way that brings pain. Whatever he meant. Okay, perfect. He gives thanks he has already received on the invisible and makes active preparation for receiving on the visible. One of my students was in need of a financial demonstration. She came to me and asked why it was not completed. I replied, "Perhaps you are in the habit of leaving things unfinished, and the subconscious has gotten into the habit of not completing. As without, so within." She said, "You are right. I often begin things and never finish them. I'll go home and finish something I commenced weeks ago, and I know it will be a symbolic and a good demonstration." So she sewed assiduously, and the article was soon completed. Shortly after, the money came in the most curious manner. Her husband was paid his salary twice that month. He told the people of their mistake, and they sent word to keep it. When man asks, believing he must receive, for God creates his own channels. I've been sometimes asked, suppose one has several talents. How is he to know which one to choose? Demand to be shown definitely. Say, Infinite Spirit, give me a definite lead. Reveal to me my perfect self-expression. Show me which talent I am to make use of now. I've known people to suddenly enter a new line of work and to be fully equipped with little or no training. So make the statement, I am fully equipped for the divine plan of my life, and be fearless in grasping opportunities. Some people are cheerful givers, but bad receivers. That used to be me. They refuse gifts through pride or some negative reason, thereby blocking their channels, and invariably find themselves eventually with little or nothing. For example, a woman who had given away a great deal of money had a gift offered to her of several $1,000s. She refused to take it, saying she did not need it. Shortly after that, her finances were tied up, and she found herself in debt for that amount. Man should receive gratefully the bread returning to him upon the water. Freely ye have given, freely ye shall receive. Remember, we moved into our home, 35 square foot home. We moved into in 2002. And we, instead of having a housewarming party, I decided to tell everybody to bring a gift and y'all give it to other people. How dumb was that? It was, instead of me letting people buy me stuff, I said, everybody bring a gift and we're going to play white elephant. That was just me not feeling worthy of people's gifts. Not me being prideful, but me not feeling worthy of people's gifts. And I did that for many years, that I wouldn't take things. And then the other shoe fell off. And financially, I was like, y'all got that $5 I told y'all ain't going to last week. Because I needed it. But lucky for me, I have a tribe that show up for me and my nanny, and we were okay. But I just remember when I had to come to terms with, I was doing that to myself. I was a bad receiver, but always wanted to give. But it wasn't because I was prideful. It was because I didn't think I was worthy. And then God let me know how worthy I was. And I started saying, hey, my hand is out. What you gonna put in it, boo? I can take it all. Where was I at? Okay, where was it? There is always a perfect balance of giving and receiving. And though man should give without thinking of returns, he violates the law if he does not accept the returns which come to him. For all gifts are from God, man being merely the channel. A thought of lack should never be held over the giver. For example, when the man gave me the 1 cent, I did not say, poor man, he cannot afford to give me that. I saw him rich and prosperous with his supply pouring in. It was this thought which brought it. If one has been a bad receiver, he must become a good one, and take even the postage stamp if it's given to him, and open up his channels for receiving. The Lord loveth a cheerful receiver as well as a cheerful giver. I've often been asked why one man is born rich and healthy and another one poor and sick. And where there is an effort, there's always, where there's an effect, there's always a cause. There's no such thing as chance. This question is answered through the law of reincarnation. Man goes through many births and deaths until he knows the truth which sets him free. That's what I talked about earlier, about that personality going back and getting the record of what it did and coming back and doing better or worse. Yeah. He is drawn back to the earth plane through unsatisfied desire to pay his karmic debts or to fulfill his destiny. The man born rich and healthy has had pictures in his subconscious mind in his past life of health and riches, and the poor and sick man of disease and poverty. Man manifests on any plane the sum total of his subconscious beliefs. However, birth and death are man-made laws. You hear that? Birth and death are man-made laws. For the wages of sin is death. The Adamic fall in consciousness through the belief of two powers, the real man, spiritual man, is birthless and deathless. He never was born and he never died. As he was in the beginning, he is now and ever shall be. So through the truth, man is set free from the law of karma and sin and death, and manifests the man made in his image and in his likeness. Man's freedom comes through fulfilling his destiny, bringing into manifestation the divine design of his life. His Lord will say unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, and I will make thee ruler over many things. Death itself, enter thou into the joy of the Lord, the eternal life. That's what I want to hear. When I close my eyes for the final time, I want to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. I am well pleased with you, Come on home, baby girl. Come on home. This is the almost last chapter. So the tomorrow denials and affirmations. That's the last one of this book, and there's some affirmations in here that I'm going to read. And this book has been with me since 1987 when my mom was going through a divorce, and I guess somebody gave it to her, and I was home from Howard University for the summer, saw it on her bed, picked it up, started reading and started working it with my 18-year-old mind, and life was really progressing. And right here in 2017, I wrote, I forgive myself. Oh, wow. I forgive myself. And I wrote, I ain't going to tell you all of this stuff, but I forgave myself for a lot of stuff. It was July 16th, 2017. God is so good. Thank you guys for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be like Jay-Z. I ain't going to stop. I'm going to keep going because I feel that this is one of the divine ways that I'm supposed to express myself. I went to school for theater, but then didn't pursue it all the way because there was some stuff in Hollywood that was Holly weird. Anywho, I'm not judging anybody who's there because it doesn't happen with everybody. But anyway, if you would like this video, if you would subscribe to my channel, if you would share it, I'd greatly appreciate it. Like I said, we got one more day with the game of life and how to play it. And then I'm moving on to Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. I love you guys. Have a great and amazing day. Remember, this is the week that Mother Mary promised us a miracle. Get your miracle. Bye.